They cannot let it be seen that crime pays. Right? You've got to keep that in your fucking head, sir, right? Because they've got control of the television and all the networks and all that. You cannot ever let it be seen that crime pays. Ronnie, Reggie and Charlie all died in prison. All you believe is what's on that big screen. Like they're going to say to you next week, there's a spike in some place. You don't know, they're just telling you there's a spike. Who the fuck are they?
What about Ronnie Biggs?
Yeah, well, listen. I was honoured because I was honoured enough to meet Bruce Reynolds, the brain of the Great Time Robbery. His very talented son, Nick Reynolds, who done all the Constant Icon exhibition, which is most probably iconic in itself, as it would never be allowed to happen again. They invited me out to Ronnie Biggs' 70th birthday in Brazil on the beach with everyone that was left alive of the Great Train Robbery. When I'm telling you, it was nearly a sexual experience. I'm telling you, I'm just sitting there with them on this beach with Ronnie Biggs and Roy Shaw and Bruce Reynolds and fuck, what the fuck am I? I'm in heaven? You know what I mean? So, and he is although not the brains of the outfit, I don't know anyone that could play the part of the British fugitive on the run better than Ronnie Biggs.
Acts. How many jobs did you get away with?
Oh, I would say a pretty big percentage, because you get caught once, and unless you're dumb enough to have cases taken into consideration, you don't get caught for the ones that you did. So like I might commit, say 50 crimes or 50 criminal acts, and only get caught for one.
The world loved him over there, and because of the despicable way they've tried to get him back here and all that, like with the people that have tried to grab him and kidnap him and bring him back, and the president going, kidnapping is the biggest crime in our country. The English have just kidnapped someone off our beach. What do we do about that? And the forces went out and picked him up off the boat and said, come back, you're a hero. Honestly, that's fucking wankable. And his son, Michael Biggs, is a very, very good friend of mine. I haven't seen him for a couple of years, but he's a beautiful man. I was in prison with him in Belmarsh. I was in hospital with him in Belmarsh. I've been to I've done his funerals. I've been to, I love him. Ronnie Biggs is the perfect man for the job of the typical English fugitive, right? He's perfect, a lovely man, yeah.
What about how the system treated him when they brought him back in the end?
They tricked him.
But it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand that?
They tricked him. They cannot let it be seen that crime pays, right? You've got to keep that in your fucking head, sir, right? They cannot, because they've got control of the television and all the networks and all that, right? You cannot ever let it be seen that crime pays. Ronnie, Reggie and Charlie all died in prison, and and they will make it. And Ronnie Biggs, they tricked him into going, you're that ill, you have to go to London for that, and we will give you £100,000 if we're the ones that brings you. If you don't go back to London and get this medical help that you can get there for fuck all, you're going to die, dick brain, right? So come back to London and do that. So they brought him back to London, and then they had a court case about letting him out of the hospital while he was like that, whether he was going to stay in prison or the hospital. And they adjourned that court case on purpose, and then adjourned the next court case on purpose, then adjourned it again on purpose, and then before they actually gave him the underground for coming back, they went, your legal bill is 100 and you have to pay it. So he came back for fuck all. They tricked him, right? And treated him like a fucking dog in prison. I was in the prison. I'm not saying it to be anti-prison. Yeah, I'm just saying like a fucking dog, right? And made sure that and Ronnie died. Now I done a great big event for him. I done a massive event with a man called Adrian Doughty for Ronnie Biggs and for Roy Shaw. I've done one for Joe Parr. I've done all them events, and they just wouldn't allow it to be actually made public. They wouldn't allow anyone to go. They weren't allowed to advertise it in the paper. You weren't allowed to. They'd done a bomb scare on the night and they'd done all that on Ronnie. And on the night of his thing, they wouldn't let him. And he was in a hospice, and we were taking him out of the hospice to go to his thing. They wouldn't let him leave the hospice, handcuffed up. Like, fucking... You
So
know,
what's your advice? Never trust the system then.
do you need to be told that, really? I've got to be honest. I'm only this clever because I'm this old. And there was a time when I weren't as clever as this, maybe a 30 and that. But don't trust the system. All you believe is what's on that big screen. Like they're going to say to you next week, there's a spike in some place. You don't know. They're just telling you there's a spike. Who the fuck are they that's going to go and practice what they're doing? I'll try it with Oldham. Oh, that's all right. We've done that. Now we'll shut off Leicester. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. All right, Leicester's done. Right, we'll try that. Now we'll try another. We'll do a big one on you. We'll try Leeds. Right, we've learnt all that. And that's all they're fucking doing. Right, at the same time as we was all told no one's allowed to leave their front room, the council started that day shutting down 800 fucking roads around the country, making them a dead end. All night they were doing it. Go and check up on your fucking goggle thing. Go and look at that. Yeah? All night they were blocking off all the roads. Google. I've just got told, check on your Google. Right? I'm a bit of a wanker. Sorry. Check on your Google. Right? They shut off 800 roads and made them all one way for COVID. What the fuck are you doing? Now you're not allowed to leave your fucking home and go to the fucking shop because they said it's after 10 o'clock and you'll get arrested and go to the police station for... Really? What the fuck? Because of a cold? Really? Fucking hell, you'll have me veering right off one of them. Stop it.
Good, I'm glad I feel the same. But off camera, you mentioned Freddie Foreman. Who is Freddie Foreman? Tell the audience.
Freddie Foreman.
Tell the audience, please.
He's Freddie Foreman.
Obviously, I know personally, but please tell the audience. Share a little bit about him.
What Joe Parr was to me, yeah? Because he was my man, and I knew the people, you know. Freddie Foreman was to him and to me. So once you see him treating him like that, you have to treat him like that, don't you? And he treats him like that. So that's almost royalty. That is the last one I left alive. He's the monarch of the underworld. Okay? The monarch of the underworld. You lick the back of his head to send a stamp. Right? Freddie Foreman, that's... You know, not now. You know, he's 88, but like, if you want to start all that credit where credit's due, fuck me, that one's due, all of it. Everyone knows it. Like I owe it to the Krays for this and all that, yeah? They owe it to him. Yeah, Joey owed it to him. He's the one, and he's still alive. You can still go and touch him. He's still there. That is a real fucking... like a Julius Caesar or an Al Capone or a fucking...
Of course, and you still speak to Fred?
Yeah,
You're still in touch with him? Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Listen, I'm a grown man. I still go out there purely just to touch him, mate. I was at his birthday, his 80-year-old birthday. But you know, I still. He humbles me. Not many people do that to me. I'm a flashy little, maybe two like that for my own good, right? But he humbles me. And I like that feeling, so don't get it anywhere else. You know what I mean? So he humbles me. He's, and has been in the day of the gangster, a fucking gangster, mate.
Of course. And so if people wonder, Fred's still in good health, is he?
He's been better, but he's alright, he's still alive. He's kicking. He's as good as he could possibly be at 80-odd years old, yeah?
In our last interview, Dave, we had Joey Parr Jr. on talking a lot about the Roy Shaw, Lenny McLean fights. I know you knew both of them, so you tell us a little bit about both of them. Who do you think was the better one out of the two, or the tougher one, or who's a bit about their characters?
I'm glad you spoke to Joe Parr Jr. before me, because he's a very important person too. Hello, Joey, you know that, yeah. But to be perfectly honest about that, at the end of their careers, Lenny was obviously the far superior. Yeah, his size, his aggression, his all of it, he was far superior. But at the beginning, yeah, you know, when they were both a lot younger, and I've seen a lot of battles, but that was much of it was evenly matched with a big geezer and a little battle, as you can care to see. Yeah, Lenny was aggressive. Roy Shaw was like one of them dogs. Like some dogs, you can pick up a newspaper, you don't have to eat it, and it go. And other dogs, you can kick him out the bollocks all day, and it goes hanging off a tyre. You know what I mean? It was one of them you could eat it and eat it and eat it, and it wouldn't hurt him. You know, so it made beautiful spectacles of fights, you know what I mean? But
course.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to sit on the fence there. I don't normally do that and say at the end it was Lenny, but at the beginning it was a 50-50 shot. You know, both very tasty bastards, and they could both most really beat me up now, even though they're dead. Right.
So final question, which is one from our audience members, if possible. Again, connected with Lenny. They wanted to know who would have won in their heyday of Lenny McLean and Charlie Bronson. Bare knuckle.
I'm afraid Lenny. And I like Charlie Bronson, he's a very good friend of mine. And I don't want to fucking upset him. Because hopefully it's coming out soon, yeah. And I don't want to say, fuck all. But I'm afraid he'd have to admit, in their heydays, yeah, Lenny was a tool, yeah, that was a machine. You know, like, there's different styles of fighting. Like football, the long ball game, the dribbling game, there's different styles. There's the ones that, like Nigel Benn, they don't mind getting it as long as they get their one in. There's the Eubanks ones that wants to hit you but don't want to get in themselves. There's the Bruce Lees that do the technical stuff. There's the football hooligan that rips your shirt off and dives into 5,000 people. You know, there's all different types. Well, Len McLean was a doorman. He was he learnt his thing in. There was no, you stopped after 3 minutes and got wiped down, and right, you learnt to do it in the doorway of nightclubs. He was the best at that I had ever seen. It was fucking prolific. And whatever you thought you were, if you ever see that guy work, you knew you was a dickhead to that. Right? Whoever you were. And I was alright at it. Right? But whoever you were, you saw that do that and knew you was a complete cunt to that. Because that was a different era of doorman, yeah? That was when doorman, if you lost a fight as a doorman, the fucking manager sacked you and got a better fighter. Right? Nowadays, you've got to give your name and address and phone number and blood group and picture and all that, and if you hit anybody back once, you get the sack. So how the fuck are you supposed to get good at something you're not allowed to do? You can't not play football for 6 months and come back and you're good at it. You can't not box for 6 months. How the fucking hell is a doorman supposed to be a good fighter? He's not allowed to do it. Right? How the fuck? So Len McLean fought 4 or 5 times a night, 5 nights a week for 20 fucking years. So by the time you bump into him, mate, me and you on the way out of a club half pissed, we're in trouble. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You look like a ferocious fella.
Fuck, man. I've seen him get you a knuckle dart. I don't know what would have happened if the post weren't behind him, right? It's the only time I've ever seen it. I use a knuckle dart. I live by them, listen. And I'm talking about Lenny. This, let me tell you, is the best invention in the fucking world. It is important as fire, electricity, and the wheel. Yeah? That helps you beat people you can't beat. It made me famous. And if you are someone that has to carry a weapon to work with you, like screws, soldiers, policemen, villains, right? You have to choose the weapon that you don't mind doing the fucking bird for. Right? If you want to choose a knife to go out with every day, you've got to risk it in 20 fucking years, every single day. Right? Every fight you have, you can risk it in 20 years. That, you get 18 months and you win any fucking fight you can. Any fight in the world, all I've got to do is throw one punch that way and I win it. Yeah, if you go like that, I'll break your arm. Right, so choose the weapon you don't mind doing the bird for. That is the fucking tool. There's a little advert. Where was we?
Fantastic. There's a few fantastic
you
bits.
A
few fantastic bits of advice you've given for maybe the aspiring criminals.
Whatever. Yeah, go on.
I'd like to. That rounds it off really nicely, Dave. I'd like to thank you very much for your time today.
You're cool, man.
And just finally, if you'd like to tell the audience members where they can find you on social media, whether you're on Facebook or Insta, Twitter.
I think I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on all them things. Yeah, I'm on all them, and you can also find me at my house. And if they're not stupid, it is 18 Chestnut Rise, SE18 Minority. All the people who can't find me, I've painted a good picture of myself on the wall.